everyone, and welcome once again. I'm writing a new novella, so it reached 22,000 words. It's going to be available on Amazon, and for local market, I'm going to be printing a few pages. So, for the international ones, don't worry, it will be available on print on Amazon as well. So, I'm just going to show you some of my writing process, and I'm going to talk about my book and my writing process at the same time. So right now, if you could see, I am editing using Quillbot. So my writing process is usually me with a pen and paper, like a literal pen and a paper, figuring out or plotting out my characters, what I want to happen, the goals of each characters are. So it's really going to be written on paper and a brief outline, like a chapter outline with some bullet points in it. Then I will transfer that on Word. But if you ask, why didn't you just do that on Word in the first place? I don't know. I just can't think that way. I need to be tactile. Sometimes I also make a scrapbook of my characters and the setting. So that's also going to be part of it. That's part of my writing process. I have that. I sometimes lose that scrapbook paper, but that's okay. This is just part of the writing process. Now, what I'm writing here is called Pockets of Destiny. The main character is a tamawo. So, tamawos are interesting creatures. They're actually, I think, Visayan in origin. And they do live in the Visayan region. And they are very interesting people or very interesting creatures because they actually have what's this pocket dimensions. They can create pocket dimensions. They have a true form and their human form. They can control some elements, depends on where they are. So in this case, my tamawo can control water elements because they live in the waterfalls. They're the water tribe. And this is actually connected to the novella before this, which is about manananggals, and I will put links to all those at the bottom of this, and maybe in the comment section as well. And I'm also gonna be putting pictures of what the books will look like. I'm actually gonna be doing a lot. I'm actually gonna be what's this turning this into an actual proper series. But if you know something about me, I love world building, and so this novella is actually part of a bigger concept. It's actually gonna be part. Um, it's gonna be part of something big. So, if you read or if you follow a lot of my paranormal stories, they're in one world, and in that one world, um, it's accepted around the 2000s that there aren't just humans in this world, that there are some things that actually live here among us. Among those are werewolves, vampires, and all those. Now, if werewolves and vampires exist, why not other creatures, right? So here, the setting is in the Philippines. And there will be some werewolves perspectives here because I'm trying to go for a global market, and the perspective of a Western werewolf will actually try to explain what are the creatures here in the Philippines. So, if you can notice, Quillbot is asking to turn werewolf with a big W to small, so it's taking out my capitalization, and I'm gonna ignore that. There's a reason for it. So in this world, in this fantastical world, uh, werewolves and vampires do fall on the top of the food chain. Therefore, they are like considered a higher tier of being. So they have big capitalized letters. So shifters and others fall right under that. So everyone has smaller, no capitalization, of course. So that's part of it. I know that's not grammatical, but that's me trying to show there is a difference here. Now, as I'm doing this, There are some things that I have to ignore because sometimes I don't want to lose the character's voice. Sometimes the character, um, it's not realistic how they talk, or they. I want them to talk a certain way. Therefore, I want them to. What's this? I want them to retain some sort of realistic way of talking. That's why it's not always grammatical. And that's a balance that we have to try to keep as writers because we do want our books to be grammatical, but at the same time, we also want them realistic, and not everyone has a perfect grammar. And some people, by the way they talk, they really omit prepositions, articles. So here in my story, Dante, actually, the main character who's a Tamawo, omits a lot of particles. No, he, the, you, I, just goes straight to the point. He's a man of few words, so he omits a lot of those. In contrast to werewolves, werewolves will talk in a straight sentence. They're very formal that way. So yeah. See, before you just have to really read it to make sure that it flows well, even if you don't or can't use powers. Okay, I'll accept that. So some of the things here, I was trying to be poetic, but I guess I guess Quillbot didn't see it that way. But that would be just up to you. You really have to like read everything that you do. See, so agent shouldn't be big, but Interpol is. So things like that. Even as a writer, I wouldn't know that. I mean, there's so many things to remember. This is like, yeah. All right. So I like Quillbot because the Quillbot that I have right now, the premium one, is going to like really help you with some of the rewrites. Not all, just a few. Make things help flow better, I guess, which is really good. But as a writer who also edits, that's hard because it is hard to self edit. Trust me on this. It's very. Oh, great. What happened here? See, sometimes. Good trader. Yeah. So there are the dangers of that. So you really have to really read before you do any of those things. So like here, walk in the woods. Nope, it's not the woods. They're gonna be in the docks. So I'm gonna ignore that. What? They wouldn't get a response soon. So yeah, some things just don't make sense. You're gonna really have to read before you accept this. Uh, didn't hinder. Hide. Nope, it's not. It's hindering, not hiding. So you really, as a writer, really do your first editing. Whether you hire another editor on top of this or not, this needs to um, be addressed before you shove it to the editor, because it's not gonna write itself. And some editors won't have time for grammatical errors, so you are really going to have to do this first before you put this in, like I don't know what kind of editor you're going to hire. Are you hiring a line editor to really see your conversations? Are you hiring a developmental editor because it needs development? So before you do that, and when they see your work is a mess, like the grammar's really terrible, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill climb before they even touch your page. So the best way to do this is download Quillbot or Grammarly, or just do it on Google Docs, because Microsoft Word doesn't have enough of this. Therefore, you need something more. yes, Microsoft Word has a bit, but not as much. So if I were you, if you're comfortable with using Microsoft Word or Google Docs, because Google Docs is a little better, but it's hard when there's no internet, and where I am, uh, internet's iffy. Therefore, I really write using Microsoft Word, and then I need to put it in here in Google Docs and enable Quillbot or Grammarly, up to you. I used to have Grammarly, but I didn't want to pay premium. I did pay premium Quillbot. It's quite pricey, but I think I'm happy with the results because Quillbot is an all-in-one app or an all-in-one program, and I do use it for my master's degree, so I am really happy with it. It's gonna help you um, check your grammars and everything. So, all right, baby shower. It doesn't want baby shower to be capitalized. Alrighty, there we go. So please come and see the launch. I hope it's gonna be live. I'm going to put a link on it in my Facebook. I'm gonna be putting a lot of promotions on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and here on YouTube. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you guys like a little bit of the process on how I write and how I edit and some of the tools that I've used. This is not a paid promotion. I don't want to gatekeep, therefore, I'm showing you my process. Thank you, everybody.